Good evening, everyone. Treasure Troller here from the partially mask-wearing militant state of Michigan. So tonight is the season premiere of Alone, which means I'll be recapping the episodes. Actually, the first one is probably on right now. I got a little bit lazy in my pre-show. I got a little bit lazy, so I didn't do a lot of the pre-show stuff. So I thought I'd at least comment on a couple of things before we get, before the show starts. Things that I look for on the show that tell me you're not going to win the money. These are in no particular order. The first one is the vegetarian survivor. They do really well until the frost hits. The next one is the family man survivor. And this is either the single dad, single mom, or married with kids at home. And like we said before, they're already sort of away from their family for 2 or 3 weeks prior to actually getting dropped off on the island, but they need to go back and see their family. They get homesick. Like I've said, the prerequisite for married couples to be on this show should be the last thing you say to your spouse as they're leaving to go on the show. You should tell them, if you tap out because you got homesick, I'm filing for divorce. So, the vegetarian, the family man, we have the part-time survivor, which is someone who has a full-time job, and then on the weekends they go play alone. They just don't seem to have the experience. They don't have the experience, and they never last. Well, then you have the MacGyver survivor. MacGyver survivor is the one that won't take a real primary tool with them because, they got a better way of doing things, or they can do it without it. The ferro rod, a way to make fire. There's always one MacGyver in the group that decides it's better that they take a plastic cup for water rather than a ferro rod. And then what happens is they end up spending hours and hours and hours trying to build a fire because, although they can make it, they've underestimated the amount of humidity or how wet things are, and they just make life miserable. Let's see, what else? What's the other one? We had the part-timer, we had the MacGyver, the family man, the part-time, the vegetarian. I know I'm missing one in there. So what do I look for as far as the winter goes? As rough as it is, I always look for the contestants that have the most difficult time at the very beginning. They struggle to find food, or it's extremely difficult to get to the water fishing, or they have very little success fishing. But somehow the ones that struggle in the very beginning, a lot of times things seem to work out for them when the weather changes, and they seem to do okay. So I look for that. I'm also I believe I'm leaning towards, I have looked a little bit at the contestants, and it really does seem that they're either running survival. Oh, I know, the fair weather survivor. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But the fair weather survivor is the one that goes to Alaska during the summer, and then when things get cold, they hop down to Arizona and teach survival school down there. But anyways, it seems like Alone has really come around to you're either one of two things. You're either you run a survivalist school, primitive tools, primitive weapons school kind of thing, or you're a homesteader. They've sort of weeded out the military people with advanced survival skills. It's come down to homesteaders versus survivor school experts or instructors. So I'm really kind of leaning towards we'll see. I don't want to say right now. I haven't looked at the contestants to decide if there's one I prefer over the other ones. I guess if I have to go initially, off the top of my head, I'm going with the one that has that are homesteaders, similar to the guy that won last year. They're homesteaders that live and work in Alaska year round and have a lumber business or something like that. They cut wood or train dog sled dogs or something like that. That's what I'm going for. Or the hot chick. It's always good to put a little money on the hot chick. So with that, next vlog will probably be a recap vlog. Maybe I have to wait for it to air, and then I got to buy it. So within the next couple of days, we'll get the episode 1 recap. So with that, this is Treasure Troller saying aloha and good day.